doing coding. So these things is needed in future. So okay, so I'm not going to waste more time. I'm just going to show uh, and this presentation I will share, don't worry. Which number I completed? Yeah, a few more commands which I did not use yesterday. So I will just one more command I will use, and then we'll start. Then we'll go for the this is our class 3. What I will do, I will just create one more is okay. If I want to count non-missing values in movie yesterday which we did, so this is only one or two commands remain. Which so how we can do it? We can just we can find that how many items are in this series. Non-missing values means only it will count those have some values in that series. So in color rows, color column, there are 4897 records are available. Director, it means it is 4814 records are available. Similarly, all the records, whatever the series are available, it will show it. Okay. Now the second is if we want to minimum values only. Okay. This is the minimum value which is showing in critics review. How many? What is the minimum value duration? So whatever the columns are or series are available here, it is just showing the minimum values. And one more. This is the last. I did not. Okay. In description, movie describe. It is uh, it is kind of summary. I already posted this on chat box. It is counting the total counts, minimum value, min value, standard deviation, minimum, 25% value, 50% value, 75%. It has the quartiles, and what is the max value. It is just in a one command we can get all the few details of that every column. Okay, so that's it. Now, now we are going to move with mm, one more library which is called Matplotlib. It is very popular, uh, and this library I will use it here in here. Okay, here we will add one more. I'm just yep, okay. Matplotlib. Okay, so I will share after that. Okay, so in Matplotlib, um, I'm just copy and pasting. I'm just I think 7 or 8 commands, and same time those commands I'm also pasting here also. So you people will do the same thing which I'm doing. Yeah. So what I will explain that what I'm doing. Ah, this is wonderful. Okay, so what I did, import Matplotlib.pyplot. Actually, pyplot is the responsible class which we had needed, and we just created the PLT as a alias because we don't want to use again and again to pyplot. We need to write it, so just create one alias and x equal to range 100. 100 means 0 to 100. When I was taking the first session of Python, that day I discussed the range. So range means 0 to 1. If we want to create a list of 0 to 100, so that time we needed this range. It is a shortcut way we can write, and I want the x coordinate. There are two coordinate, x and y. I believe everyone is familiar, everyone know that x and y coordinate, which we studied in 10th class in mathematics. So the simple concept I'm using it here, x coordinate and y coordinate value, star star for value in x. So just understand the things, even it is first time, so you people will familiar in future, because the same code you people will write, and my personal suggestion is when you people will go after the session, you will just use the pen and paper, and don't only type, write via hands-on, so that you will use the code via pen, so that you will more familiar. So value star star means it is a square value for value in x, so it will get the value x from here, and till 100 it will one by one it will count here. So first value is 0, 0 to the power 2, so it will again 0. Second it will, so I just want to show that what it is, what this value is, so that you people will understand. Okay. Yeah, so just see, it is showing 0, then one value, one ki power of 2, then 2 to the power 2. So similarly all the values are here now. Okay, fine. So this is the value. It is you all people know that it is a parabolic graph, and which start from 0, and it is exponential. It is not exponential, it is a parabolic graph, and it is like a x square kind of a graph is it is. So x, and the value is y value is x square, y equal to x square. If okay, so now the second graph is sinusoidal graph. Uh, we also studied in this is on 12th trigonometry. So I'm just pasting it here. Good. So okay, you people will also do. Don't only see. This is. I'm just going to explain you what I did here. I used math. This is the library which I used. Second, what I did. Second, I did Matplotlib.pyplot as PLT, and T is the range 100, 0 to 100, and t and x coordinate, what I need to do, 2 into math pi. We know that pi value is, what is the pi value? Anyone can type here in general. Hey Suman. Good. 3.14. Very good. uh, Good. So everybody know these things. Okay. So and length t. So it is kind of we remember that what is value of 2 uh, into pi into t. What is meaning? Uh, it is a kind of we yeah, it depends. It is one by one. It will add the value and from the t. So first value it will come from here, and yeah, very good. Circumference, not circumference, but yeah, you can say circumference 2 pi r. Yeah, and and it is, but it is adding. Matlab, the r is x. It is not constant value in circle. Means if we are going for circle, it is always r always constant, but here r is changing. So r is actually, you can say, it is going in this way. Uh, and math and y. And what is the y value? Y value is one by one. Whatever the value we will get here, it will add here again and again, and it will push here value, so that when you will type, it will kind of, pi means the angle, and another one is sine graph. So two values are counting here. One value is x is the angle, and second y is the sine. So two things are uh, are adding here, and then it is a sinusoidal curve graph. Okay, thank you. So just I want, because one time I want to show all the graphs so that you people will little familiar, because you people will not, don't know when you will use these graphs. So at least you should be also. I just pasted here. You will also use, and I'm going to use also. Good. So similarly here, I used Matplotlib, and then to, you just understand the thing. What is meaning of line space? It means it is starting from -3, and 2 is the incremental order, and 200 is the total final point. Okay, and x, whatever the value x we got it here, uh, uh, that value is going one by one here, in y also, y equal to x, x power 2, and minus 2x minus 1. Can anyone tell that what kind of uh, this equation? Because it is, we studied in ninth or 10th. I not remember exactly which year, but we studied. So we are seeing this. Very good, Niranjan. Sai. So this is quadratic. Good. So this is the quadratic equation which we studied, and this quadratic equation is power x power 2, and 2x plus 1. So it is a parabolic curve, and if you will see here, it will again, and uh, mm, x and y axis is like that. Okay. Okay, now I want to see two curves together. Okay. uh, Two curves, very good. So I'm just explaining, which is because it is little interesting. And here is x and y coordinate is available, but here is 2y and 1x. Means x is constant, but y for y we have a two graphs. One is sinusoidal curve and p dot sin x, and another is cos sine. So we all know that when sine is 90, that time cos is 0. So we are just two graphs we are merging together and showing in a one chart. So that time we are going to create one is sine and and another is first is sine, another is cosine, and pyplot dot a one time we will bind with because it is two coordinates we need. One is x and another is sine, and second is x and another is cosine, and just show so that and after that it all bind together and yeah. Okay, so it is good. And actually, now it is very popular bar chart. I will explain. I'm just pasting, and then I will explain where we are using bar chart. Uh, hey, before that, there is one more graph. Here I missed first. I should use this first. Then anyway, no problem. This is. I want to know why this graph is like that. You can see here, and another graph is sorry.
Can you paste it in the
Sorry, I pasted note. Sorry, I forgot. So there is two graph. One is this graph which I just now I pasted, and above which I pasted just before. So why two graph? Yeah, very good, Roshan. One is width one, and why the another width? Why? No, this is not histogram. This is not histogram. Uh, we are not count. Yeah, very good, Suman. Very good. 0.8. Very good. So in general, in this graph, in 8, it is 0.8. In general, it is taking 0.8. Yeah, very good. Okay, so yeah, it is here. It is taking zero. This graph. It is taking width is 0.8. That's the reason it is not fully packed. But here we are forcefully decide that width is 1. So that is the reason all the curves are kind of histogram. You can say. Yeah. Yeah. Correct, Roshan. Correct. All right. Uh,
So, Manish, I have a question
yeah.
for
Please.
the y-axis
Yeah. Yeah. Why?
in the graphs that you showed. How is it going to take the interval? Like you did not the interval, right?
Yeah.
Okay, please repeat.
One minute. Yeah, it is value is first value is it is taking 5, second is 25, and the value which is mentioned here it is taking one size. Length we mention here, range length data means how many data is there? One, two, three, four. Four data is here. So what it is doing, this graph is doing, this graph is automatic little smart graph, and it understand that we need very good, Suman. It is 0.8, but default size is 1 for each or for every item. But when we are not mentioning here, it is taking only 0.8. But when we are forcefully we are mentioning here 1 point, so it is taking size 1. Okay. And bar chart, have you people used any time in even not nowadays you people also use, no worry, but any time in your career you used bar chart? Good, good. Okay. So any difference in pie and bar chart? Means any one line can we people can mention that where we are using bar chart and where we are using pie chart. Okay, okay, I will explain. I will explain. Pie use percentage. Percentage. Okay, you can say. You mean you want to say that if out of 100 we want to split into each and every category. Uh, and for example, we have we when we are okay. I'm just giving you one horizontal bar. I think this I already done. This is horizontal. Okay. Um, First use this horizontal, then I will little explain on more. Yeah, it we are going to use in percentage. Uh, yeah, this is horizontal. You can check here is bar and here is bar H. Proportion, very good. This is also good. Proportion. When we are going on proportion, that period we are using pi. Very correct. So we need to understand which time, which graph we need to use, because we need to write just a command, but how to represent a better way, and that represented should be meaningful. When we are going for one class, and in one class, how many are in on we are proportionally we are dividing into uh, please mute mic. Okay, so that time we
You can mute him, no problem. You can mute him. You have access.
okay, compare the category. Okay, bar chart we are comparing, very correct. In bar chart we are comparing the data. Okay, so now I am going to horizontal bar, it is done. Okay, fixed, and multiple bar chart. This is, yeah, this is wonderful. Okay, so what I did here, it is just a data which have three rows, and one is 5, 4, 6, 25, 23, 22, 50, 51, 52, 20, 17, 19, and one coordinate which I this is the range which I arrange for. And just to understand with me, like x plus 0.0, second is 0.25, and x plus 0.5 to 50, it is creating the x coordinate and y coordinate. X coordinate, it is creating x coordinate, and blue, green, red. B means blue, green, red, and the width is which we are deciding here 25%. I'm saying if we are counting one, it means it is a 25%, 25%, 25%, and showing. So we are going to club together, and we want to show bars chart. It is actually it is mean we have a 1, 2, 3, 4 NP range. It is a range value. Yeah, array range. Okay. Now I'm going to stacked bar chart. What is the meaning of a stacked bar chart? Here. A stacked bar chart means in a bar chart we want to because sometimes we don't have a space in our dashboard where we are representing the graph. So that time we are using some composite kind of chart graph so that it will visible only in the same bar it will visible. So that time we are using the stacked bar chart. So just remember the name because rest all the graph name we are using it, but this is the little different name. This is called the stacked bar chart. Good. Now back to back bar chart. Meaning of back to back bar chart. Ah, this is wonderful. This looks different. Okay, so we are just trying to understand what I did. We did nothing. We did only back-to-back bar chart. The name is mentioned here. So in this graph, we have a two array. One is two genders are here. One is woman and another is for men. And array range is four and red, and one is blue, and it is just using the coordinate, and you can see that the value is 0 to 4. X value is x, it is moving here little horizontally. It is and just a few more slides remain, and then after we will go for statistics. Um, this is the pie chart. Okay, so in pie chart we good. uh, which we like you people already know that it is a kind of percentage, or it is a kind of total out of. For example, I'm giving you one of example, like for example, like for example, we can understand in this way. In an organization, fewer guys are in finance, fewer guys are in IT, few guys are in sales. So when we want to display the data in such a way, how much percentage of means how much guys are in particular department. For example, I'm interested in green section is for IT, orange section is for some like sales, and that blue is for assembly, and third one it is some other. So out of 100 means out of counting is under percentage, like how much. So in this graph we can easily understand it this way. Okay, histogram is I just want to know that you will know the histogram, I think, and I will just little give you the idea. Yeah, this is histogram, and just I for you people help for you. Well, like it is a bin size is defining 20, 20, and a range is a random. Yeah, yeah, correct. Shape of distribution. Very correct. Very correct. Shape of distribution. Bin is dividing into 20 parts. Bin means dividing the 20 parts, and the 100. It is X is taking the random value hundreds, 1000 values it is taking, and we are just showing the graph. So 3 libraries which I used: NumPy for mathematical, because we are doing here some mathematics, and this is the histogram curve. Hist x coordinate, bin size is 20. We divided equally in 20 parts. If we will go for just 1 minute. By default bin size is 10. You remember? Sorry. Okay, sorry, I want to do something different. Okay, now you can easily 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So it divided equally parts 10 bins. It is calling 10 bins. Okay, okay, so one very good uh, chart which we are saying box plot. So anyone idea about what is box plot? Otherwise, I will explain.
To show
Uh,
the distribution of values along an axis.
good.
In that the boxes indicates the percent of the data, and the middle of two quartiles are the data distributions.
Okay, very good, very good. Okay, that's wonderful. I will. Okay, we will see that how what is box plot. Yeah, it is good. So now, so in box plot, it is a kind of box. It is very simple. It is a box, means box. It is showing like a box, and we want to see that what is the meaning of box plot. I will explain. This is the distribution, and in distribution we are splitting the values into 4 quartiles. 4 quartiles means just a 25%, 25%, 25%, 25%. This is the meaning of quartile. So don't confuse. Quartile means percentage only. So we are just divided into 4 parts. This is the Q1 is mentioned here. Q1 means first quartile, means 25%, and Q3 is the third quartile, means 25, 25, 25, 75%. Median, in between. Median is the in between Q1 plus Q3 divided by 2. Median. It is coming under. So IQR is the interquartile range in between Q1, Q3 minus Q1 means the differences. So it is representing this curve will helpful just below that what we are doing here, and Q1 minus 1 point IQR. Uh, Anybody know that outliers? Outliers are actually the distance which is like here you are saying in tail area. Suppose we have certain point are in after Q row. This is the um, uh, 3 row or 4 row. It is here some values. It is called outlier. So with the data outlier, the simple meaning of as a layman, outlier the point which is outside
Smaller,
the yeah. Or
yeah, much smaller or larger than, right?
no, not larger. You can say it is a means those point which is near outside the graph. You can say
Outside.
very
Yeah,
good. Yeah,
outside.
outlier. That's the meaning is there. That's the reason. Intuitive name is outlier, which is little outside the curve. So suppose any point is near the 4 row or some for little which is not visible here in the curve. So it is calling after Q3 plus 1.5 into IQR. Whatever the point after Q3 plus 1.5 into IQR, that point is called the outliers. You remember this point. This point. I'm
Yeah.
talking. So if sometime it is you people will know these things, so 1.5 5. I'm just typing. Thank you.
So which is in between 30 to 40?
Yeah, very good. 3 row to 4 row in between.
Oh,
So,
okay.
so after those points are called the outliers. So I will explain today. Today our discussion will be more interesting. So this is the box plot, and one more type of graph we will see here. This is called the triangulation. I did something. Ah, this is this is a little interesting. Uh, it is just a triangle. We are creating a multiple triangles together, and random value is 0 to 1. You that and 100 values we are calculating here, two value, and data size is all. It started with a 0 and it is starting with the 1. The first colon means you understand those things very careful. Data colon comma 0. It means all the value, matlab colon, it is coming under x coordinate. So it means all the x value, but right side y is only 0. Okay, so means it means all and 0 value. It is 2. It meaning is all value 1. So we are considering in such a way triangle, and 0 to y-axis is 0 to 1. That's the reason it is moving uh, 0 to 100, and in between we are calculating multiple values. We are taking multiple values. Okay, so data is, so it is showing the triangular curve. It is not more popular, but at least we should have an idea like what is the triangulation. Okay, that's it. Okay, now so this is the that's it. This is the only triangle. This is the only graph. At least we should know. Uh, Box plot, which I was discussing, it was dividing into the quartiles, 4 quartiles. So first quartile is 25%. Second quartile is calling the median, and third quartile is called the upper quartile. So okay, now today our crash course Python not completed, means just basic we completed. Now we are going to move towards statistics, which is more needed in this time. So I believe central tendency everybody know. So in central tendency, a measure of central tendency is a single value that attempt to describe a set of data by identifying the central position within the set of data. It is very meaningful statement. Uh, it is deciding that the characteristic of set of data. So the three metrics which is deciding the central tendency of any sample of data, which is mean, median, and mode. So mean is actually uh, is equal to the sum of all the values. Which suppose we have a sample of data, and we are sum up all the values and divided the number of items, number of data values, total values. This is called the mean. We are uh, mean value. Uh, but but it in mean value, what is the problem is when suppose in a class, I'm just explaining you in this way. For example, in a class, average is score. All the guys are doing suppose all guys are not good in mathematics, so or physics. They are not good in physics. So most of the guys have only um, physics score is 40 or 41, 41 and 42. In this way, they have a score, but one or two student have marks is near the 99% or near the 98%. So that period, it is not useful when we have outliers. You can say that the most of the staffs are here is 15K, 18K, 16K. These score they have, but two staffs have a salary is more than 90 or 95K. So these points are saying outliers, means they are not coming under the subset, because most of the employees have a nearby, the salary pattern are nearby, but the one or two or three. But when you divide, when what you will do, when you will sum up and divide by the 10, because here is 10 employees, these 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 two salaries will actually not give you the correct essence of the data, because they will little increase the average value, but ideally average value is in between 15 to 27. You know, ideally it should be 15 to 27, but these 2 points are actually um, just creating disturbance in this average. So when you people have outliers, so mean will not good thing doing. Okay, so this is the first step which we are doing in central tendency. Mean is just an average value. We are just club all the values, sum up all the values, divide number of items, and we are calculating x. X is x bar. X bar, it is a representation is x bar. Uh, okay. Now the second point is median. Medi Median. The mean is equal to the sum of all the value and divided into the number of values inside data. And the median is the middle score. I believe this is the wrong. It is correct. Okay. The median is the middle score of the set of data arranged in the order of magnitude, and median is the less effective for the outliers. In case, I'm just explaining, in case we have outliers, median means middle score. So suppose we have a 65, 55, 89, 56, 34. So what we need to do, we need to first arrange. We have to incremental order. So what we did, first we include 14, 35, 45, 55, 55 and 92, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So 11 means 6 should be middle. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6 is coming in between, because here is 5, here is 5. So 56 is in middle. So this median is 56. Okay. So in case when we have even though here is outlier also, but outlier will not more effect, because here we are not doing any average. The formula is different here. Formula is just simply counting the middle values. That's it. So median, so outliers are not impacting more in case of median. Uh, and second point is, suppose we have a two values like here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. In case of 10, 10 values, so 4 is here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 55 and 56 in between, one median should be there. So what we need to do, in case we have a even number, so we have to just divide 55 plus 56, divide by 2, and that is called the median. So here median size is 55.5. So that's it. And now we are going in third, median mode is a most frequency. Whatever the values which have a more frequency, that is called the mode. So mode means like you can see in the graph, histogram graph which we just studied. This frequency is more in top left side curve, have a more frequency is in, it is showing here. And in the second graph, second right graph, it is showing two mode values which have the equal values. So that is called mode value. If both have a same value, then two modes are available. Okay, so that's it. It is a central tendency. So in central tendency, we are finding the three values. Three kind of metrics is there. One is average. Second is median. Median means middle values. Third is most frequency values. Most frequency value means those number which are coming more times. That is called the mode value in general. For example, for example, we sometimes in China we are doing some statistics like more millionaires or billionaires are available. So in a sample set means more billionaires are there. So that is called mode value. In statistics, in graph, how we can represent, you can say in bell graph, these curves, when we are checking first left, uh, red is mode, and green is median, and blue is mean. So you can say in the peak value, which is a peak value, which is in mode, means which is more frequency value is in middle. So in first second graph, second bell curve, and we are saying that mode is here, and green in why? Because this the second curve in the left side, first curve we are seeing, first graph we are seeing, and here we can see that um, it is little right side, it is moved. So that's the reason mean means average. Average is not on the same point where the mode is there. So mode mean is also little shifted towards right. So blue curve is little, and similarly you can say in this curve, here is more frequency value. So average, and why? Because this curve have a tail on right side. So when you will average it, uh, so that's the reason average is shifted towards little right, and median is just a middle. So median is not. So median is just counting and just checking the middle values. And this curve, it is the left skewed, normal, and right. So if it is left, means the more tail size is little left side, means when we are going to average, average is coming towards left side, and mode is always on the tip side. So mode is mode, and in between median, in between mode and mean, median will be nearby. So that's the reason in left side. Uh, our graph will be like that. When we have a normal curve, means normal means proportional, both side left and right, both side have a same distribution. uh, Mean median mode will point to the same point. So where the mode will be there, only median will be also there, and mean will be also there. Similarly, the right, if it is a right, our mean will shift towards right, and median is in between mode and mean, so it will also shift it towards right after mode, and this is the right skewed curve. Okay, so yeah, now central tendency we have completed. So now the standard deviation. Standard deviation means the when we are going to spread the data, how the data is spread. So to know about the spread of data points from the mean or to along with the mean, that is called the standard deviation. So in the first curve we can see most of the point left first graph, we can see that the most of the points are near the near this average, means mode, near the mode only. So most of the, it is less deviated value, means less deviated mean most of the points are near the concentrated on the middle only. And and it is the second curve is more little deviated, means all values are not on the same on the middle only, and it is little distributed. So it is a little more distribution here. First is on tip, because most it is pointed. Second is bulge, so it is distributed more. It is not concentrated all the points on the same axis. It is, and theoretically we understand these things, but in practically we should understand these things. Mean is in middle, and for second, I'm just checking first. Here is first is standard deviation. This is the first standard deviation with the same. This called first deviations, and this is called the second deviation. Both side, left side and right side. So this is the representation way. Standard deviation are always along with the both side of the mean. The same width is on both side. It is coming under. So this first is first standard deviation, and right, and after the right side also first standard deviation, then second. Okay, so what is standard deviation? Standard deviation is a we are I'm going to explain you standard deviation. Like for example, we have an average value. Suppose we have 100 of values, we average it. Average it means we sum up all the values and divide it by the number of items. That is called the average value. Now from the average value, how the each and every data point is spreaded. So from the average value, we are calculating the distance of each and every data points. For example, in average is 5, and for example, average is just try to understand these things. If one point is here, 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 and average value is this. So we are calculating the distance from the average, this, and this is the value which we are calculating here. So we are just calculating the average from the average value. So we have just sum up all the values, and we found this is the average value, and these are the data points which we calculated and sum up. So these are the data point, but where this data point is available from the average, we calculated the distance we calculated here. So x minus x bar, x bar is the um, x is the distance from x is called like the data points, and x bar is the average value, square y square, because if we will square it, if it is negative, it will plus sign, it will come. So just for getting the actual magnitude of the value, we are just we sum up all the values, distance from all the data points from the average, and divided by the n minus 1. So there are the two standard deviations are available. One is sample standard deviation and another is population standard deviation. So try to understand, there are two type of standard deviation available. You will use two standard deviation. One is sample standard deviation, another is population. Why only the difference is n? Here is second formula. First formula is x bar. X bar is average, and divided by n minus 1. Sum up all the values and divided by the number of n is the number of data points. And second curve also, second formula also, x minus mu. Mu is the population of average population of all the data points divided by the n. So, but the only difference is n minus 1 and n. So why n minus 1 and n? Can anyone tell in chat window? Why n minus 1 in sample standard deviation and why population standard deviation is n? Because we are doing standard deviation. So standard deviation means we are just sum up all the values and divided by the number of items. Okay, I'm just explaining why sample standard deviation is n minus 1, because it is a sample. It is not the whole value. Suppose we have 1,000 of data. Yeah, very correct. In this way, you can say the bias value, but try to understand in this way. For example, we have 1,000 of records. We have a means actual size of the data um, is millions, but we are using only a few thousand of data or hundreds of data. So that time, we all people know about the numerator upon denominator, numerator upon denominator. So when we are calculating the distance from the average and square it, so we ideally we should put the n values, because we are using in the sample we are using n value. But just because counting should be from start from zero, from we are taking from one reference value. So because suppose 0 is the reference value, so 0 is should not be count, because if you will count the 0 again, it will a kind of bias which you are using it. So that's the reason in numerator upon denominator we are just minusing one value in sample. When sample means we have a fixed value, we have a fixed number of items. In that case, we want at least one value should be minus, so that denominator should not be exact the same. It should be it should be, because if we will in a sample we will use one more value. Yeah, estimation of variance, yeah, correct. So if we will use the denominator one more value, so maybe it will impact the standard deviation. That's the reason we are minusing one value. So in population it is no, because in population there is suppose 1,000 of data and 10,000 or million of data. We are just doing the average and dividing the total numbers. We are not caring, because the data is in numbers, and it will not be a biased. But in case of a standard deviation, sample standard deviation, we are very particular. It should be, suppose we are taking 10 values, so we will divide by the 9, because we are taking a reference from the one value. So when we are taking one, because in reference we are calculating from the one values, so that's the reason it is 9. Okay, so that's it. It in a standard deviation. Now I'm coming up to the variance. Variance and standard deviation, there is nothing. It is when we are doing square root, that it will become a standard deviation. When we are not going to a square, we are just squared value, it is called the standard variance. And again it is the two standard variance. And the graph which I am showing here left first, this is the red line, it is average value. And all the data points, we are just calculating the distance from the data, all the data points, and just sum up and divide it by n minus 1 when we are sample, and population we are dividing by the n. That's it. This is the variance we are calculating. Uh, so this is the way. Uh, and tomorrow, not today, tomorrow we will start the regression. So tomorrow onwards we will study the different um, type of regressions. So any more question in this lecture? So what I will do, I will just close the discussion now, and tomorrow we will see the type of regressions and try to explain you before jumping to coding and all. We will try to understand the different kind of regressions, classification, clustering, so that at least the feeling should start coming that what we are going to do in data science. And the actual data science scientist guys should have a clear picture of the statistics and regression models. So the statistics will not stop here. It will continue. You people can read and whatever you want, but at least you should know the basic idea about the central tendency, standard deviation, variance, because these are the very uh, uh, common terminology which we'll use so many times, and at least we should have the clear picture. So tomorrow we'll meet the same time. And any more question? Okay, so what I will do, I will just share this video after half an hour. Okay, thank you everyone.